Push the button for several seconds. Nothing happened.
Oh dear. I'm gonna throw a big shout out to Jeff Goldblum's Silent Fart Finds a Way, because he got the firstest of First Bloods this morning, leaving a comment on the Rumble at like 6:15 or something. You want to start with this one?
Yeah, quick and easy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
It's well, Wyatt, I am rolling.
It's Monday. It is show enough Monday.
It is show enough Monday. You know what, every time I say that, I actually mean it positively. But in the movie, in context, Doc Holliday said what he was really saying was, "Oh, Wyatt, don't you worry about me. I'm burning the candle up at both ends. Yeah. I'll be lucky to see Christmas."
Wyatt, I have not yet begun to defile myself.
Oh, that's not what I mean when I say it. I'm planning on living through at least Christmas, y'all. Just by the by. At least
Christmas.
At least.
And Sergeant Major says home sweet home, because they just got back from a road trip. They went up to Maine, and on that trip they actually inspired this today's episode, because they
gave us our first meme.
They gave us our first meme, and this is meme warfare at its best. So let's get right into this. Okay.
I like how you can see the chat though. I see what happened there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I like the idea that you might be able to see the chat there, except it's so small that you can't read it.
Also, have you seen our chat? Right now, it's fine. But
yes, sometimes things happen.
Exactly. And then let's see.
Steve says, let's see how long 2 bars of LTE holds the stream. And Danny says, it was great to see you Saturday, Chris. Yes, Danny, I needed that hug. I was glad to see you too. There's Ma, and oh yes, by the way, it is the Sergeant Major's birthday. Happy birthday, Sergeant Major.
Oh, well, good morning, sir.
Indeed. So I've already got it up here. The first meme.
There we go. And this meme is literally a billboard.
Yeah, this is a billboard in Pennsylvania. Do you thumbs up defunding the police? Then you'll heart Josh Shapiro. ShapiroForGovernor.com. And you got Biden and Shapiro there both throwing the thumbs up. And it says paid for by Commonwealth Leaders Fund. So I'm going to show you guys. I've got it pulled up here. This is the Commonwealth Leaders Fund. This is a PAC in Pennsylvania, electing pro-growth leaders for a more prosperous Pennsylvania. Now, that line by itself could go either way. Oh, it's Danny's birthday today, too. Good morning and happy birthday, Danny.
Wow, so 2 of my favorite people have birthdays today.
So,
hey, buddy.
What? Oh. You can reach down there and do it, too.
I'm not reaching down between your legs and flipping any switches, sir. On air or
I
off
suppose
air.
I appreciate that. Formed by entrepreneurs across Pennsylvania, Commonwealth Leaders Fund recruits, endorses, and raises money for candidates for state office who champion and lead on the fundamental American principles of free enterprise, limited government, and personal responsibility. Today, the largest political action committees in Pennsylvania generally spend money to defend and expand the status quo rather than supporting bold champions who will drive true free market change in Pennsylvania. So, the billboard, which actually directly references Shapiro's campaign website, is a straight up troll. This is culture jamming. This is the meme war at its best, right? And I need to give a big thanks to Ma and Granddad, that'd be Mommy and the Smudge, for sending me this image to share with you guys this morning. This is how it's done, guys. Excuse me. This is how we fight back against, let's face it, an entrenched and dangerous enemy. People like Josh Shapiro, who before the last election said, "We will count votes until Donald Trump loses," actually said those words out loud.
But the election was fine.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It's a great election.
There's absolutely no reason to have any doubts about what happened in 2020.
Yeah, if you're even slightly suspicious about even a tiny percentage of it, you're the problem. That the election in 2020 was great.
Yeah, there was literally zero fraud.
Yeah. You know, watch. I know what you want to talk about next, and watch, I can transition us. This is brilliant. Watch this, okay? For the longest time, we ceded this kind of territory to the left. Like, our side was right, like getting the government out of the way and having lower taxes and fewer laws and less regulation generally works. However, we had a real messaging problem. It was all stuffy and boring, and closest thing we could come to any type of appealing message was something along the lines of, go to church and follow the rules and you'll probably be okay. And then this magic thing happened where conservatives realized not only could they be competitive on Twitter, they could be successful on Twitter. See, back in the day, Twitter was not 280 characters. Twitter was 140 characters. So you had to get in, you had to make that point, and you had to get out.
Which is a lot easier to do when you don't have to explain a bunch of anti-reality bullshit to make your point.
That's right. Leftist memes are this big because they got to make sure you understand the context. Righty memes are one or two sentences, and they're effective because
you can just say true things.
Yeah, you understand the context. And then the social media companies realized, Houston, we have a problem.
Yep. And Dave Mathey points out, we only go blue in PA because of the libtards in Pitt and Philly. We've covered that on this show many times.
There are no blue states.
There are no blue states. There are only cancers. There are only blue cities they're like cancers that metastasize and spread.
That's why I think the Electoral College should be expanded, baby. You can't have a city dominate a state. Founders would be horrified.
Right.
Even the founders that were pro-city would be horrified, be like, no, we deliberately designed our system to be the opposite.
Well, and I mean the result has been you've got things going on like in California. You've got larger cities voting to take the water usage rights away from smaller towns, and the result is, you've got your hot shower, your unlimited hot shower in your big penthouse apartment or your Beverly Hills mansion, but oh wait, there's no water to irrigate the avocado farms for your toast. But you didn't think about that when you were having your coffee this morning, did you, sunshine?
But they still wanted the avocado toast. Anyhow.
And don't get it twisted. I like me some avocado toast.
I just like me some avocado.
But I'll go buy a crate of avocados and a loaf of bread for what it costs to buy avocado toast at, like, I don't know, does Starbucks do that?
I don't know.
I don't go to Starbucks.
I've never actually ordered. I've never, like, when the Mexican joint around the corner will give you a bowl of fresh avocado for $5. Like
Right.
the $20 avocado toast is like, but anyhow, but social media and the fact that right wingers are inherently good at it because we own the meme space.
Whoa. Okay, Mom. That I have not heard this. Okay, Mom says Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne have announced they're moving back to the UK because the US has gone crazy. God, I wish I'd have heard that before I put together this show this morning. That would have been. That might be tomorrow. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's. Woo. So here's what we're talking about now. Mark Zuckerberg went on the Joe Rogan podcast and
Seriously? But okay.
yeah, like have you not seen this show, Mark? So yeah, the Zuck's own ass cheeks have warmed the same seat as Alex Jones now. So
and Jordan Peterson.
And I mean, we've all seen Mark Zuckerberg speak. He is the Clockwork Elf.
Well, we've all seen Mark Zuckerberg recite.
Yeah. Is this a human activity?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you guys handle things when they're a big news item that's controversial? Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
had that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically, the background here is the FBI.
That was not a yes or a no. Just
Correct.
a personal fucking pet peeve there.
Right.
Well, we took a different path. Okay. So was your different path a different method of censorship, or was it not censorship?
Right. I'm glad you paused it there. I'm gonna back it up enough so that you hear all that going into the context.
Story, the New York
We had that
Post.
too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically, the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, like, you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just
Okay, so we're doing a lot.
Okay, so I took this clip from Bombard's body language, the body language ghost, and there's there's the link for that. Go check out her video. I also pinned that link on the Rumble, and when comments are available, I'll drop it on the YouTube video as well. But yeah, the body language ghost does fantastic work with these kinds of things. Hey, thanks, Trish. Trish bought us 5 coffees. Thank you so much. Love you.
Be like Trish. Or Danny. Danny bought us coffee recently too. Thanks, Danny. Be like Danny.
Yeah, I saw Danny Saturday. I saw Dan and Danny Saturday. Yes. But
saw the cute Danny and the
yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so what Zuckerberg has just explained, and he said it with weasel words to try and kind of skirt the issue, but he just told you that the FBI, a government agency, engaged in directing private companies.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this a lot, right? You get the, hey, social media is censoring my conservative speech. Oh, but private company, you can't. If the government is directing that it is done, it doesn't matter if it's a private company. That's still violation of your civil liberties under color of law because it is being directed by a government agent. What Zuckerberg just said is the Federal Bureau of Investigations actively and with malice of forethought intentionally tampered with the 2020 elections. He didn't say they adjusted votes. He didn't say that they committed election fraud. What he explained is they tampered. They tampered with the information available for the election. And we know from
And
the
we
exit
just got a
polls.
strike.
Do what?
We just got to. That's not the.
Oh yeah, we'll be live on Rumble for the next 2 weeks. What? But
No, the 2020 election was fine. I'm sorry. Please continue.
But what they've done, we now know from the exit polls that the effect of censoring the Washington Post story about, New York Post.
It was one of them.
New York Post.
I think it was the New York
what they
Post,
did by
yes.
censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story. We now know from the exit polls is that they shifted the election by up to 30% of Democrat voters. Somewhere around it was 20 something close to 30. But more than a quarter of Democrats who voted for Joe Biden said that they would not have if they had known about the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Yeah, not necessarily that they would have voted for Trump, just that they would have stayed home in protest or voted third party in protest.
And that, in fact, would have been the difference.
Well, okay, you could say that Joe Biden got millions of more votes than Donald Trump, and that's true. But in a handful of states, Joe Biden got a few 100,000 more votes than Trump, and that's what swung the election. It wasn't the
in most
millions
of those states.
votes.
It wasn't a few 100,000.
Yeah, I know. But the point being that we're not talking about a gap of millions
like
of
for
votes.
example, 11.
Right, we're not talking about a gap of millions of votes. We're talking about a gap of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands
Right.
of votes, which is much smaller. And I mean sum total spread out across those states
Right,
is hundreds of thousands of
Right.
votes.
If that exit polling had only shown that 1 or 2% of Democrats would have stayed home and not voted based on that story, that still could have.
Again,
Up
like
to
here in
10%,
Georgia.
you're at a guarantee.
Yeah, like here in Georgia with 11,000. You know what also is funny? Wait, the FBI could be proactive about a threat?
No.
According to Mark Zuckerberg, they can.
Well,
They
no.
came to us and said,
according to Mark Zuckerberg, they could be proactive about something, but this was not a threat.
Just everything about it, too, just curious language. Well, there's Russian disinformation coming down the pipe. Oh, like what? Well, that's for you to figure out.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I like the way Styx put this when he broke it down on his video yesterday. That's a nice server farm you got there. Sure would be a shame if something were to happen to it.
Right.
Which, I mean, let's face it, if the FBI comes along and says, hey, kid, we've got a good reason to believe this thing is gonna happen, you should pay attention. Well, right, wrong, in between, throw the ethics out, just look at the pure survivability of it. Yeah, you gotta kind of listen to the FBI. You know, the thing that just continues to baffle me, cops could show up at your house right now and we could lie our ass off to them. And that's not actionable at all. The FBI shows up, we lie to them. That's a crime. In fact,
Like if
we
you look at them and say something like "hands up, don't shoot," for example.
Yeah. I don't know what you're referencing there, but it's funny. You're not allowed to
Yes, you
lie. Yes,
Okay,
you're right.
Just checking.
You're not allowed to.
Just checking. You gotta be concerned there for a moment.
No, I promise. I remember the thing that made me stop watching the NFL. I promise you. Okay. But
well, it's important that people understand how plugged in we are, because I got that great interview with the KGB spy this weekend that I'm still working on. I'm still editing, which did finish rendering, by the way.
awesome. I know. I saw.
Hours.
I saw.
Jesus.
But no. Look, you can't lie to the FBI.
Nope.
They can sure as shit lie to you, though.
Yup.
Kind of weird, isn't it? Now, cops can lie to you.
Disadvantageous adversarial situation right there, my man.
Cops can lie to you.
Yep,
Again, they
and
can
they
lie to
do.
you. They can lie to you. They can interview you for 10 hours and then take 10 seconds of that interview, call it a confession. All of it. However, you could lie to them. It is, I don't want to say a level playing field, but let's use that terminology just to make the point. You can't lie to the FBI. You don't have to be guilty of any other crimes. But if you lie to the FBI, buddy, you're a convicted felon. Good night.
Yep.
It's weird that.
All right. Well, and I think we've done.
Hey, can we click back over, because that's just such a memeable face.
It is.
Emotions
The
engaged.
hollow eyes. The
Emotions engaged.
Oh. So, all right. And
Now we can talk about the kind of stuff that the big tech companies want us to censor, because why can the left not meme? Well, because the left is just not based in reality.
the right is based
On reality.
in reality.
Yeah. Here we go.
Go ahead.
She-Hulk. I get catcalling and get belittled as a lawyer every day. Do you really think I'm not able to control my anger and stress? I love the face. Hulk, who's been oppressed for years to the point of being forced to hide himself from society and commit suicide. Yeah, that's correct, friends. The current continuity of the Hulk tried to kill himself, and because his Hulk power is so powerful, he couldn't even suicide properly. How's that for depressing?
And the line when that was revealed in the films was actually brilliantly well done. He said, "I put a bullet in my mouth," and the other guy spit it out.
Yeah.
Like, damn, son.
Yeah, but getting catcalled because you're tall and hot, that's totally the same thing.
Is she?
Oh, this was supposed to be in the student loan dump, but there we go.
Oh, we haven't heard anything else since the slap heard around the world from good old Will, have we?
Will's sorry.
John McAfee faked his death and is still alive in Texas. Ex-girlfriend claimed in Netflix. Don't give me hope. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of these for the first time. This is excellent. New study finds, but this makes no sense because shut up, idiot. You're not an expert. The science is settled. The science is retired, Asperger. New study finds, but this is exactly what I told you. Shut up, idiot. The science changes.
That is so accurate. That is because we said before, even the things that we were incorrect or overly cautious about with regard to a certain virus, golly, we were just way ahead of the curve.
Yep. Oh, dude. Oh, dear. What do we have here?
It's an appropriate condom size.
Oh, IRS agents.
IRS agents at the bottom. Look at the top.
Skinny dudes?
No, the very top.
Oh, meme lords.
Oh.
Felons.
I do think felons and gamers being bigger than CrossFitters and vegans is correct. And I love how, of all things, T-Mobile sales reps.
What? Okay. Okay. Inflation and gas prices are crushing my savings account. Thanks for paying off my gender studies degree.
Have you seen the ones where, like, obviously obvious men? Well, excuse me, women. My bad. Where, like, they'll dye their hair purple and then post a thing that's like, I'm really worried that I'm gonna get like harassed by straight men, and it's sort of like I'm so tired of getting catcalled. No, you're not. You wish you would get harassed by straight
men. That yeah, you're blue-haired feminist proud. Oh, I get harassed by straight. No, sweetheart.
No, you don't.
The men that you complain about out loud and vociferously on social media constantly in order to paint this bizarre narrative that, my evil white man done me bad. We want nothing to do with you. We see you in public, right? You'll hear about the systemic racism and people are afraid when they see black men and they'll cross the street, get away from them. And no, it's the blue-haired feminist. I want absolutely nothing to do with you. I don't want to be anywhere near you. You are a walking problem looking to unsolve somebody.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'd rather 7-year-olds could choose their gender. 18-year-old couldn't understand their student loans. You know, in all seriousness, I'd rather hang around the ghetto after dark with a bunch of shirtless black dudes than one blue-haired feminist.
Shirtless
period.
even.
I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna go stereotypical here, I'm doing it. Was that offensive enough? Have I made the point? And let me be clear. It's actually not us that are racist. It's leftists that are racist. They're the ones that are worried about stereotypes. I am not. I care about merit, loyalty, intelligence, aptitude, and potential. That's what I care about. But the left is like, well, you got to get the gay vote, and you got to get the black vote, and you got to get the suburban housewife vote. Well, of course, the left has kind of abandoned that one lately, but whatever.
We discovered a cure for cancer, but giving it to you wouldn't be fair to everyone who's died from cancer.
God, the left can't meme.
Nice pie you've got there.
Well, and that's and then Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead was a slap in the face to everyone that had already died. Look, before we get into these last few are obviously themed, but before we get into it, no, it's only a slap in the face to the ones that Jesus didn't resurrect. I mean, the people that are dead are dead. Like, oh God, the left can't meme. And I hate I'm going to use religion when it suits me crowd. Because I guarantee you, whoever posted this would make fun of you for praying to Jesus if it suited their purpose.
Yeah, this is somebody that goes to the what is it, the United Life Church or whatever.
Yeah, and then just generally speaking, I didn't include one. I wish that I would have. But you know, have you seen the thing that's like, dear Christians angry about student loan forgiveness? Your entire religion is based on forgiveness. Way to lose the plot. And it's like, no, we haven't lost the plot, you absolute fucking mongoloid. The forgiveness of sin on a spiritual level is not the same thing as a wealth transfer. Anyhow, there's more. I'll shut up. We can keep going. Taxpayers who don't, and that, my friends, is part of what the problem is, because it's basically a wealth transfer.
Right.
That is one of the biggest issues, is that like only a third of the people in the country have been to college, which means 2/3 of us are subsidizing 1/3 of you. And the same people that think this is a good idea hate corporate welfare. We can't subsidize oil companies, even though they produce a useful product. But, I mean, people with underwater basket weaving degrees. Okay.
And Alex, to your point real quick, Alex says these memes are sarcasm. Obviously, this is someone poking fun at the equity crowd. No, actually, these are, if I understand correctly, these are memes where Cameron collected them.
People sharing them sincerely.
Right. They're basically being posted on meme forums as responses to more right-wing memes about the same subject matter. Because they legitimately and honestly think that these make clever points. What was your major? Gender studies.
What did it cost? Nothing.
Dude, there is something painfully appropriate about Thanos as a blue-haired feminist.
Well, I mean, he was an eco-terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah, right. I see what you did there. All right.
It's like, are electric cars good for the almost said good for the economy. Are they good for the ecosystem? Are they good for the earth? Well, I don't know. That depends. Are they charged off nuclear power?
All right, here's one that I've seen several versions of. The next, okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to TLDR this son bitch. I'm done.
Okay. House Judiciary Committee says if you take out a loan, you pay it back, period. And then some political action group says, what's that about paying loans back? Republican members of Congress whose PPP loans were forgiven. Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, let's put a thing to bed, because a lot of your leftist friends who think they're clever, okay, who didn't give a flying damn about PPP loans 2 weeks ago. Now we're going, well, what about PPP loans? What about, you hypocrite, you hypocrite. Except, okay, here's where that absolutely does not apply. PPP loans were designed to be forgiven. You can think that's right, you can think that's wrong. That is a separate fucking discussion.
Yeah.
But PPP loans were designed to be forgiven. Basically, okay, we understand that we're in a pandemic and a lockdown, so we're going to hand you money. And as long as you use a certain percentage of that money to pay your employees so you don't have to lay a bunch of people off and crash the economy, we'll look the other way when it comes time to pay this loan back. And there's even a one-to-one analogy with student loans. If you take a student loan and then you spend a certain number of years teaching, again, the government looks the other way.
There are a bunch of programs that you can enter where the program pays off the student loan. So this is a question of what you agreed to ahead of time.
Exactly.
So when you took out the student loan, what you agreed to was that you were borrowing money that you would repay. That's what you agreed to do. When you took out the PPP loans, the language in the loan said you will repay this loan unless you use the money in these explicit ways, you comply with these explicit requirements, and you have these specific outcomes. This money is a loan contingent on these activities to which you stipulated agreement a priori to the acceptance, right? So there's an analogy here also with like the GI Bill, for example. You don't get to go to college for free because you joined the military. That's not what the GI Bill is. What the GI Bill is, when you enlist in the U.S. military, is part of the compensation package to which you agree. Now, the GI Bill did originate as a grant to people who had enlisted prior to its existence. So the first handful of soldiers to benefit from the GI Bill did not negotiate for that as part of their compensation package. But every soldier since then has entered into that agreement, understanding that part of what they were negotiating for, in addition to their pay, paid time off, medical benefits, et cetera, was that it came with the GI Bill, right? So you don't.
It's like getting
it's
stock
not. Oh, I get to go to college for
company.
free.
It's
just no. I went to work to earn this compensation. Just because the compensation itself isn't a check paid directly to you, doesn't mean it's not compensation, right? It's no different than taking a stock dividend option as part of your compensation contract with any other company. It is part of your initial negotiation.
Yes. Mark's department says most Republicans in offices don't care about the people either. They're just grifters who gatekeep you from outright disbelieving in democracy. And Republic of Tryhard says, yes, I'm sure that all those people paid their employees and didn't keep none of it themselves. The people that cheated the PPP system are going to jail. Like, that's a thing that's happening. And so, yeah, there are people that cheated the system, just like there are people that cheat every other system, and they are going to jail. Probably for a long time, because the government is actually taking a harder and harder stance on white-collar crime, because white-collar crime requires intent, motive, and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty easy to prove. So, just to really...
But, Republic of Tryhards, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 99% there on all politicians are scumbags. I still have a little bit of white pill faith that there's one or two out there that are solid. Now, so I couldn't point to them,
Right. So, but look, long story short, okay, when you see your leftist friends, family members, whatever, who think they're clever, that are like, well, yeah, what about PPP loans? Look, PPP loans were designed to be forgiven. Student loans were not. Also, you cannot get another PPP loan. That's done.
Right.
You can still get student loans. They are not the same thing at all. They're barely even in the same ballpark of ideas. Okay? They're not the same thing at all. It's a fallacious comparison that you probably saw and went, man, I know something's wrong with that, but I can't put my finger on it. Well, that's what you tune into the Brushfire Mind for, because we can help you put your finger on it.
Yeah, and I want to say this one more thing about the PPP loans, and then I need to wrap it up and get down
Willow
the street.
says it's hard to launder money by accident.
It is. It is indeed hard to launder money by accident. But, the last thing I want to say about the PPP loans.
I launder my money by accident
We
all the
said
time
those
when I
were
do.
bad from the get-go. Right? Most conservatives said this is a bad play from the get-go. And most conservatives like these guys that ended up taking the PPP loans, they were forced into a position where they needed those because of government making bad moves, bad choices. Right? Sidebar, YouTube has removed most of the restrictions on what you can say about the vaccine and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
So it's a lot easier now to say that the left ruined the economy, ruined the country. And back up and remember, one of the big criticisms of Donald Trump at the beginning of the pandemic was, why aren't you going full fascist retard and shutting down the country? And Donald Trump was criticized for not being sufficiently fascist dictatory and shutting everybody down, and Trump was critical of the hard left states that did do the hard shutdowns, but made it very clear that that is a state's authority and not a federal authority. And across the board, almost without exception, and this is globally, the greater the shutdown, the more restrictive the shutdowns, the more harm was suffered to the economy and to the actual health of the population. Because everywhere you see that there were the huge shutdowns, not only did the economies tank, but their suicide rates, domestic abuse rates, and drug use rates skyrocketed. Almost without exception. And I say almost without exception because I'm assuming that if I say 100% on this one, somebody will find that one case. I haven't seen an exception, but I'm just going to guess it's out there.
Woo! Can we give Nick Legends OCE the top comment award?
I am the elite financial class.
That's well, if you've read the entire thread, it's pretty fantastic. That's how you clap back, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 memes left. I'd love to end on the very last one, even if we don't even talk
fine.
about it. It's not in the next.
I have to go down to here.
Oh, look, that's right.
Oh,
the
that's
left can't meme. See, I knew that would get you because it's Tom McDonald being
that's
racist.
funny. He's a sexist. He's a racist. He's in love with Donald Trump.
Again, the left cannot meme because search warrant affidavit is released. Yeah, with what was it, 81% redactions or something
it was ridiculous.
insane. Sure, I'm so nervous about the affidavit getting released that nobody can read. This one.
that is solid.
that was just the funnies. So it's Me More Monday. I feel like you sign it off every Friday with the safety brief. I wish, and I haven't put it together yet. I only just had the idea this weekend, but maybe every Monday. There you go. Maybe every Monday, like we do the unsafety brief to start the week off, and then it's sort of like, hump day, and then we get safe going into the weekend.
That's right. It's Monday morning. Coffee first. Safety's like third or fourth.
I thought coffee was safety.
Coffee is get shit done.
Right.
Because the Army, in the Army, you'll often hear, oh, safety first. Or you'll hear mission first. No. Mm-hmm. It goes coffee, mission. We appear to have frozen the camera here.
But I think we still got sound coming through. Okay.
Yeah, we still have sound coming through, so y'all are just going to be stuck on that frozen, weird shot of us. Let's see what happens if I...
That is not flattering at all.
Not at all. Kind of looks like I'm going to murder you.
All right, well, good night. Or morning.
It's like when you stick your fingers in your cheeks and pull them apart to make the stupid smile.
Right, I guess.
Stick your tongue out?
Nope.
Your face will stick like that? Yeah, mission first. Coffee first. Safety's like third or fourth. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.